a workflow versus a flow designer. So what is the differences between the workflow and as well as the flow designer? Because see, every time most of the people are thinking about these, so instead of using flow designer, the workflows is also available in our service now. So what is the difference between, exact difference between the workflow and as well as flow designer? So everyone has some kind of doubts, so that's why today I'll explain everything, and in the flow examples also I'll explain it to you. So this workflow versus flow designer, and what is the comparison, what is the real time examples, and what is the triggers, and everything I'll discuss in our today's session. So if time permits, I'll show one example also, what the triggers are using in our day-to-day life, how we can just update a records or modifying of a records, everything I'll show it to you. See, workflow versus flow designer. See, we have the workflows are there. So we already know that that is also automations in our service now area. Because see, if any kind of actions are ready to do that in a one action, and after, so next action we need to do, we need to execute, means definitely we can use it as a workflow area. It is a simple and drag and drop methodology. Because if we are ready to send a approvals, or creating of a record, updating of a records, or any kind of the changes, you can made it by using of a workflow area. So it is very simple and easy way compared to the Kingston version. Means before Kingston version, everyone has to think about that workflow is a very simple and easy drag and drop methodology. But after completion of a Kingston version, that flows also introduced. So what is the flows, and what are the specialty of the flows, and what are the flow designer area, and how we can integrate with the third party applications, everything will be somewhat different than the workflow. So what is the differences, will explain clearly. See, can we just go with a workflow area? So, what is the main definition of the workflow? Means it is a legacy automation engine in service now. Means in our day-to-day life, we are just using the different type of approvals are there. We are going to send a approval, or we are just going to update a record. If any field has to approve, update, and if any field has to just modifying with a any automations, everything will be just doing with a workflow area. And that too, it is a drag and drop editor for creating process automation using workflow activities. So if any kind of activities we need to do that, everything will be so using in a simple and easy way. And graphical canvas editor inside the ServiceNow studio. So whenever we just move to the ServiceNow area, for example, if we just go with a ServiceNow workflow area, we are just using simple and easy way and easy process to drag and drop methodology. For example, I'll just open in a personal developer instance. What are the personal developer instance workflow area? See, whenever we go to so workflow editor, so whenever we just go to the workflow editor, so we have a multiple core activities are available in this area. Because so we need to activate, we need to just do some kind of the activities, we can do some kind of actions, means everything will be pre-populated. Some of the workflows are already pre-populated in a service now area, and core activities also available. For example, if I just already if any kind of the flows are there, for example, I need to just open um, service task, or otherwise if I just open SN53 workflow, anything. So if you want to just open it, means it is a very simple and easy way, drag and drop methodology is there. When we need to just like a checkout, and we need to update everything, existing flows also, workflows also, we can easy to update. And that too, it is a drag and drop methodology. And core activities will also available. So we have multiple core activities like a approvals, cloud management area, conditions area, and flow designers, so notifications, on call, service catalog, subflows, and timers and utilities. See here, these are the cloud management and flow designer, and like a service catalog is a third party, like a suppose cloud management is there. That is a one application we activated in our service now, then only it will be visible in your workflow studio. If not, it is not visible, because some kind of the what does it means, like a instances are not activating by default. So that's why, so whenever if we need to see, means cloud management means already cloud management application is installed in our instance, then only it will be visible in this workflow area. So this is a workflow, and it is very simple and easy way compared to the normal process. Normal process means like a, if any kind of the business rules or any kind of the approvals we are trying to send, notifications we are sending, means in this area we can easy to send easily. And what is the main use cases of this workflow studio and sorry workflow area means, see, use cases means approval actions chains are there, like a manager can approve, and manager after approving of a manager, it will try to redirect to the next level. So everything will be just use cases means if we are just in a day-to-day life, what are the stages we can move from the one to another, everything will be updated in this area. And next one, not only this approval chain, and we can go to the record updates also. Record updates means, for example, if any condition are satisfied, then automatically one field value has to update. Everything will be possible by using of like a record updations also, send a notifications also. For example, if any critical priority ticket is just created, then automatically we need to send a notification to the particular user, or otherwise manager can receive a message or email. Because see, any critical priority ticket is created by default, automatically one manager has to receive that information. And custom activities integrations is also like just now what we discussed, like a cloud management, like orchestration, some kind of the interactions between the third party applications and with a workflow studios will be, sorry, workflow editor will be, so we have some kind of the changes. And there is an example means, if you need to take it as an example, multiple examples also available, but you can just go through the example just now what I shown, that if any condition has to satisfied means, so there is a triggering conditions will also be available in a workflow area. Whenever condition has to satisfied, then automatically one workflow will start, and then after completion of this one, then we'll come to the next level, like approval, some kind of the conditions will check, everything will be available in a workflow area. This is fine, very easy. And see, everyone has to think about that. Yes, service now workflow is very comfortable and easy way, but what is the difference main? So now let's we move to the flow designer area. So when we just compare with a flow design and as well as workflow editor, so first of all we need to know about the what is the capabilities of the workflow editor, and as well as what are the capabilities of a flow designer. Then after that we can easy to identify, yes, what is the main differences between these two. So that is the main intention. See, whenever we go through the flow designer area, so what is a flow designer? It is a modern automation engine and service now. So in a olden days we used like a before Kingston version, we used a normal workflow, but now we are using a modernized engine. So that too, it is automations, like a, so process has to just done by using of a simple and easy way without having any kind of the code also. If you are not ready to write a code or anything also, you can possible to run it. So that is the main intention, and allows admins and developers to create no code workflows using natural language style actions and conditions. Means, for example, if we are ready to just do any kind of the admin activities or development activities, for example, admin doesn't have any knowledge on a coding, so they can also, admin also can able to create a flow what they are ready to just think. For example, any record updations or record modifications, if any kind of the approval notification, sending of a notifications to the user, everything will be possible by using of a flow designer. That is that too as per Zurich version. So we are just using that. The flow designer is a AI technology based application. And what is the use cases means, automating the approvals. For example, we need to approve any kind of the notification. So for example, sending of the approvals, and if anyone has to approve that or reject, everything will be just coming to the use cases. Same as is like a workflow editor. In this area also, automating approvals are there, multi-step record updates will also be there. And not only this one, and we have another functionality is there in this flow designer area, like a integration hub from the to the external systems, like a, so REST method, SOAP method, Slack, Teams, and all those things are there. So all things will be so possible by using of a integration methodology. And reusable subflows and data pills will also be available. So reusable subflows and data pills is nothing but, for example, variables will also be some kind of the I will show it to you. Reusable subflows will also be available, and data pills will also be where we are going to get a data and what are the conditions we are met. Everything will be very simple and easy way. So that is the use cases. And we have the
Yeah.
different type of examples will also be there. I'll show it to you one by one. the examples. See, in a workflow versus flow design comparison will be there. Means now, so previously we discussed about the starting, we discussed about the workflow studio and same as workflow editor, and then what are the capabilities of a flow designer. Both we discussed, right? But now I need to discuss about the what is the comparison. So whenever we just compare with a workflow and as well as whenever we compare with a flow designer, so what are the difference between these two? So I'll explain to you. For example, compared to the releases side, see here the flow designer is a modern and after Kingston version it was developed. Means like a after Kingston version the flow designer has released, and in a workflow is a it's a pre Kingston it was released. Means the release version is a after Kingston and before Kingston it will be available. And next one is a editor based means flow designer is a web UI natural language, very simple and easy process we can use. And but workflow area in workflow editor is a flash canvas style, means like a drag and drop methodology. And coding needs means the flow designer supports no code or low code extensible with a script actions, but the workflow is not like that, often requires some script activities for complex logic also. Sometimes we need to just do any kind of the complex activities, means sometimes we can use a scripting also, which wherever we require the coding we can possible to write in that workflow area. But reusability will also be available. So what is the reusability means? Flow designer subflows and actions reusable across apps. So we can use the different areas, we can use the flow designer subflows and actions. But the workflow area, it is a limited reusability, and workflows tied to a tables, means it is stick to the some tables only. We cannot possible to integrate with the third party applications, so in a simple way. So that is the main difference. These are the different type of reasons for the comparing with a flow designer and as well as workflow editor. So here
Hmm.
there is a integrations will also be available. See, Flow Designer Integration Hub provides a pre-built spokes are there. Means by default, previously I already shown that like whenever we just start any flow, automatically pre-built actions will also be available. Means like a updating a record and creating of a new record. Everything will be pre-built spokes will also be available. But in a workflow area, pre-built actions are not available. It will available, but it is a little bit only. So not for the customized one. So that's why,
Hmm.
and that is the difference between these two. And next one is a maintenance is also very interesting. Maintenance means like a, so flow design we can maintain easily, so but workflow is a hard to maintain and it's a legacy tool is nothing but we can just maintain in a, like a old types. So feature support is a flow designer can support any kind of the applications like a Slack, Teams and anything. We can just easy to integrate with a third party applications. But
Hmm.
what does it means? Workflow is it's a deprecated in a future releases. Means in a updations are not available, not possible to integrate with a third party applications in a simple way. It's somewhat different than, and triggering conditions also very simple in a flow designer. We can just pre-build a conditions, but in a workflow area we cannot just create a triggering conditions in our simple way.